When Survivor shows you the same scene 3 weeks in a row, it's for a reason. So when episode 9 of Survivor 45 showed Austin giving Julie an idol because the tribe was separated into groups of 3, and then they showed us the scene again in last week's previously on segment, and then they showed us the scene again on this week's previously on, it obviously was going to come into play. It's actually one of the reasons I was not excited for the return of the previously on segments this season, because those recaps are often pretty leading and spoilery in terms of what is to come. Damn you, 90-minute episodes. But let's set aside my annoying nitpicking for a minute. Austin made what many people will say were 2 major errors in the game that played out this week. The first was giving Julie his idol, and, well, yeah, that was not good. I get where he was coming from in that Julie was an ally, and the dominant Reba foursome wanted to protect their numbers, but yeah, that was bad. Not like JD writing a love letter to Russell Hantz level bad, but bad. After all, it put him in a position of having to flush his own idol out of the game. The other thing people will knock Austin for is telling Dee that Julie was the target, because then of course Dee was going to tell Julie, and of course Julie was going to be pissed and then want to vote him out. And it appears as if she almost did. I was shocked when Austin did not play his idol after Julie played his other idol. So, yes, Austin almost got himself voted out of the game by slipping that intel to Dee. But what else was he supposed to do? If he doesn't give Dee a heads up before that vote, then he and Drew are on a proverbial island to join their literal one. Because Dee is then done with that alliance, and you can throw all your Rob and Amber love connection comparisons into the Boston Harbor. Not only does Austin put the emergency brake on his showmance with Dee if he blindsides her on a Julie vote, but his game is probably over as well. If they were going to go ahead with this plan, he really had no choice. Which is why they never should have gone ahead with the plan in the first place. But here's why Austin telling Dee was the best thing for viewers and the best thing for the show. Not only did it lead to a super dramatic tribal knowing we were going to lose a big player in either Austin or Emily, but it is going to give us the greatest possible gift moving forward. And that gift is terrible acting. Just before Tribal Council, Dee told Julie the plan. Dee, along with everybody else, would vote for her. Then, Julie would play her idol. And then, Julie would have to pretend to be pissed at Dee when they got back to camp, to not give away that Dee had squealed about the scheme to vote her out. I cannot express how excited I am to watch that happen. There are few things I hold more dear in life than bad acting by reality television contestants. This goes beyond mere lying, which happens on an hourly basis on this show. Bad acting, in this case, involves a far more elaborate ruse in which one player has to put on an Oscar, or at least Cable Ace Award, worthy performance to sell that she is actually miffed at her island BFF. Meanwhile, the aforementioned island BFF has to improv off of that and either A. Pretend to be pissed off back at her scene partner and escalate things to hilarious levels. B. Be super apologetic even though she set the whole thing up and hope everyone buys it. Or C. Throw someone else under the bus and accuse them of spilling the beans even though everyone knows it was her. All 3 of these are terrific viewing options and could also easily play in concert together in a veritable smorgasbord of conflicting reactions depending on how the scene plays out. And the folks toiling away in the Survivor editing room better show us every single second. Seriously, this is why you have 90 minutes for this. As far as I'm concerned, every single one of those minutes next week should be spent on this epic 2-woman play back at camp. Forget about the immunity challenge. Screw the journey. I don't even need Tribal Council, although I would miss Kelly and Kendra competing for this season's Eliza Orland's award for absurdly over-demonstrative facial reactions. And what if Drew and others find out that both Austin and Dee spilled the beans? Will snitches indeed get stitches? And if the snitches get stitches, will the Survivor medical team have to step in and pull someone from the game due to the risk of infection? I can't wait to see how it all plays out. But before we can do that, we have to get to everything else that went down this week on episode 11 of Survivor 45.